Hey, welcome. So, today is Saturday. Usually I play Dark Souls today, of course, but today it was my 1 year anniversary, so I spent that basically by being lazy and finishing up the video, which I've released on my YouTube channel, by the way. I'm no longer Yaku White or White is Yaku, but Yakuvrael Runeborne. And I have to say, I think it was the old name kind of like stuck around. I was never really too fond of it after a long while. And now finally it's more official as well, you know. It feels less, oh yeah, just throw something together and yeah. Here we are. Here we are. Okay, OBS is, my cat is also doing something weird. There we go. OBS was weirdly fucking around. I don't know if I was muted until now, or if it was just my cat going on the keyboard. My cat was like still rolling around here. Welcome, Wukong. How are you doing? For some reason, the chat is not going yet, which is always fun. Strange. Anyways, yeah, my old name was Yaku White or Whitest Yaku, but usually just Yaku. And now I've made it a little bit, more flavorful, you could say. I kind of was like thinking about that for a while now. I was like going through just a bunch of names, like hundreds of names. AI is really good for that, right? It's like one of these tools that, let me maybe do it like this. AI is really good for that. Right? Not just because, oh yeah, you're lazy or whatnot, but you can just kind of iterate very quickly using it. You can just say, generate me like 100 names, and then you go like, okay, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one kind of has the overall, goodness to it. And then you can just go over and over through it over and over and over again. And yeah, for that, I think it's a very good tool. Of course, right, just going like, oh yeah, just make the decision fully for me is not the way to use it. Actually going, hey, yeah, you like shouldn't depend on it, but using it as like a good, quick tool, that's just the way to do it, in my opinion. Let me just also test this. Interesting. I mean, technology is always fun. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right, I mean, usually it's like, okay. Okay, I see why. I actually see why I'm a bit stupid in that regard. I need to, of course, update my name. That would have been a good idea, let me say it like that. Ah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, a good, how should I say, a good idea is when you change all of your names everywhere is to update everything as well. That I, of course, didn't do correctly. Let me just get this, and then I should be done. There we go. There we go. Also, I could, probably put on some music. Let me do that. I have like a little track here. There's like this one, that's a bit loud. There's like this one YouTube channel I found called, I have it in my notes somewhere, what they were called. They are called BG Memon. They're really nice, right? They make like thousands of songs that are free and, you know, royalty free. Not just copyright free, but actually royalty free. You can use them even in commercial works. All you need to do is credit them. And for that, it's actually fantastic, right? I feel like this is... There should be more of this. Of course, it's always a bit of a gamble, you could say. Because people will absolutely abuse stuff like this regardless of how nice you are. Which, you know, sucks a little bit. Let's see. Okay, still doesn't seem to register correctly. Yeah, anyways, I will figure this out in due time. There we go. I think actually that's... Oh yeah, this one's called differently, that's why. But yeah, when it comes to actually changing stuff, not too much will change, right? I have like a nice background now. I have this one here, which is just the talking stream, just chatting. And then I have like the gameplay one, which has like a chat window and the gameplay itself. A little bit moved up into the corner, which is not, you know, not bad anyways. But it still preserves like the no obstruction on the actual gameplay thing, which I'm personally not a fan of when people do that, right? Like, I do it on one hand because I want to maybe use the video, like the gameplay and whatnot, without all the thing floating around. As an example, if I do one of my videos on the main channel, or if I just want to upload a long play to another channel I own, so I could just kind of remove everything besides the gameplay. I don't like when stuff is like floating around here, right? Like imagine you have like a thing, like a cursor like this, and it's go woo, wee, wee. And then people can like do commands and like weird like GIFs get thrown in and whatnot. It's like, it's just not my style. Is it even showing up yet? It is showing up. This one is just extremely delayed, it seems. Yeah. Good to know. Let's go here. Actually, oh, that was actually dangerous. I have like a music player allows to essentially create, like, it always adds stuff to a playlist, which, you know, in and of itself is not bad, but of course my playlist is filled with copyrighted stuff, so yeah, not exactly a good idea to have that stuff, you know, in there when you want to stream normally, because you get pretty much, how should I say, raped by the DMCA and copyright and all of this bullshittery. So it's nice when you don't have that stuff going on. Okay, for whatever reason the chat doesn't seem to currently be working, but that's something I will figure out in due time. What's this? Oh, that's just the console screen. That's just that. Sources. Maybe if I restart this. The thing is, I like this program because it's much easier to combine everything, but so far it has had a bit of a problem with recapturing the streams every so often, which, you know, is not the best when you actually try to stream. But, you know, what are you gonna do about it? That's just how technology works. Ah, there we go, finally. As always, it's starting and restarting that helps with everything. And go on. Thank you. That's like 90% of the time how you fix anything. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about the debut and everything. I'm not gonna do the entire play the video on stream itself. You can go watch that on my YouTube channel. I was like thinking, about how to do it. I've been, working on it for a while now. The recording and editing and whatnot, that's all today. That's all been today. I did actually like record and start editing yesterday, but I did it differently. And after like 2-3 hours in, I was like, nah, I don't like how this turns out. Let me redo it in a different way. And it's not the best, right? Somebody with more money and time and skill in editing could have made probably something really amazing. Not like me. But I think it serves a purpose. One thing I might be able to say is that the logo itself here, this one, that's not the logo that I will be using. It's just a temporary thing because I did commission somebody to make me a logo. They were like, okay, I deliver it by the 22nd. I haven't heard from them for like 2-3 days now, which is always nice. It's always very nice when that's the case. But it looks alright. There's like a few things I'm a bit sketched out about. Like I might be able to show it. At least a temporary version that's like unedited so far. Like uncolored as well. There we go. Let me show this. Where the fuck did I put it? In downloads. Still have some stuff here that I don't want to show or can't show. I should maybe clean up. I never clean up my download folder for some reason. I'm always like, okay, let's just shove everything in there. Private pictures, not safe for work stuff, including, more like gory stuff and whatnot when you save that stuff, because it's funny. But yeah, this is like the thing I got sent so far. There are like a few changes I still requested that may, to make it look better. So far it looks a bit iffy. To the point where at sometimes I like wonder myself, is this person using AI? Because it looks very much like they just kinda put my stuff, like the reference I gave them through AI almost. But yeah, this is kind of like what I want the final logo to look like. So I will see what the person comes back with. This is like one of the first things I might replace again afterwards. Because I'm not fully convinced on that. Like actually this simple one kind of does a better job so far. From a style perspective. But there are a few assets I will make over the next few days. Just to get everything like out of the way. One little asset I made, which I will keep from now on, is this one. Live Yaku reaction. With the chair. I think that's hilarious to have around. You can just kind of go whoop, 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 whoop. Like, it's actually kind of insane to me that people actually do this. Like, unironically, they're like, okay, I'm gonna just stand up and go eat for like 10 minutes while some video plays and I earn money by doing that. I guess. But hey, that's just that. I did say in the video, I will maybe do some sloppier content in the future, like reaction streams. I'm not necessarily going to react to the standard cabal of videos, like the internet historians and whatnot. I think like everyone and their mom does that. They're just gonna react to whatever is currently popular, copying the title 1-to-1 and uploading that. And sure, maybe I could get more viewers this way. At least as like a kickstart. So maybe I do it because of that. But it's really not my plan. Like my big plans is next Tuesday, as an example. I have this one coming out. Or this stream is what I'm going to do. Essentially, I've bought from Japan like 10 broken Game Boys. And I do that like once in a while, and then I sell them here in Switzerland. And some of them are absolutely vile with how broken they are, actually. Like this is one of the worst batches I bought so far. Like 2 of them, at the very least 2 of them. Like I just did some visual inspection outside. They had like corrosion in the cartridge slot, completely like caked on. It's like, yeah, And I opened one of them just to like look at it. I was like, okay, you know, how bad can it be? And it's bad. Ooh, it's bad. The entire fucking thing is broken, is corroded, to the point where it's almost unsalvageable. I will talk about this a little bit later, or like in the stream itself, because it's actually savable. So I think that's a cool stream I might do. Of course, I can't do these too often, simply because I don't have like a million Game Boys laying around to repair. And some stuff is just, it's either too big or it's too complicated to do like live while trying to concentrate on it, if that makes sense. Game Boys are relatively simple and are easily repairable. PSPs are kinda at the upper limit of what's doable. And like DSs, they're always so annoying because of the displays with the cables. Like I really struggle with them, especially 3DSs. You have to like the display, the upper one. There are like 3 ribbon cables you have to kind of roll up and then squeeze through a little metal pipe. And of course that little metal piece is just sharp as hell. So the amount of display cables I've broken this way is just, it's absurd. But yeah, I think this one specifically with the Game Boys could be a fun stream. I think that could be fun. Of course, I also put this picture in. And speaking of this picture, actually, one of these games I will start next Friday, and that is Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Now, if you don't know what Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is, then you should be looking forward to it, because it's actually a really fun and interesting game. If you do know, then you do know that this is like a JRPG in the style of Final Fantasy X. It's actually kind of hilarious that around this time they just, like with properties like these, they actually try to make interesting games, right? They went like, okay, we have Harry Potter on the Game Boy Color. What kind of game are we gonna make? How about a JRPG? And they made this for the first and for the second game on Game Boy Color. And then on Game Boy Advance, for the Prisoner of Azkaban, they also made this. Now, I already streamed those games when I was still the Yaku Stone. So I'm not really planning to really play them. Like, put the stone here. This is me, by the way, in my old life. This is Yaku, as he used to be at one point. I'm actually putting here in the background. Maybe I'll edit the picture to keep this. At that time, I did quite a few streams. I had like one person, which I'm very grateful for. Just like, you know, Vietcong as an example, who was almost there for the most streams. I still remember the name, I just don't want to call them out right now, just in case. You know. I don't like being called out when I'm in a stream. Like, there was like, I was like watching one Dark Souls stream at one point, and the dude was begging me for like, to follow him and to come back and watch again and like chat more regularly, and maybe even, you know, just kind of taking part in the stream and sharing it. I was like, dude, I just came here, I want to be nice and chat a little bit with you about a game I love, and you kind of beg me to be an ambassador for you or whatever. You share it with your friends and get them to watch it as well, please, please. Right, I would never do that. I think it's kind of cringe. But you know, there are these 1-2 people, especially for somebody of my size, that just, they stand out. They absolutely do stand out, and I still remember that one person from this time. There are quite a few games I played during... actually, I've written it down here. The streams I did under that moniker, that was still also Yaku White, but I just had not this very cool model here with my own tracking, which I should improve at some point. But the games I played is World at War Zombies, which I will play again. I do like World at War Zombies. And also Black Ops 3 Zombies. I just like custom zombies, is what I'm trying to say here. So if somebody wants to play that with me as well, I'm always open to that. That's like one of the few co-op games I'm willing to play. Most others kinda... yeah, they don't seem too interesting to me. But yeah, then I played Frogger the Great Quest, which is one of my first video games I've ever played, and it's an absolutely piece of shit video game. So owning it was more like revisiting like my childhood. It was the first not the first PS2 game, but one of the first PS2 games we had. The very first one was Monkey Island for the PS2. Which also, by the way, not a very good game. I do have them for PC though, so I could play them at some point. I might want to do that. Then Binding of Isaac is also a game I streamed once in a while. I probably won't do that though, since I completed this game to 100%. Except for like the new achievements that came out since the multiplayer dropped. But maybe I want to play the multiplayer if somebody is interested in that, right? That's also maybe something I could do. But yeah, I'm missing like 2-3 achievements because of that, so... But other than that, I do have 100% in that game. It took me like 600 hours. I played a lot during the time I was unemployed. I have like here this little timeline. You have the dark period. During that period, I was unemployed. Actually, before that already, in like... I got the... They told me, like I made a stream about this, but they told me, hey, you're out in mid-September, I think. Right after I came back from a month and a half long medical leave. They pretty much told me like 2 weeks in after coming back, like, hey, basically you're fired, but we don't want to necessarily pay the money and whatnot. So we give you the options to... We give you 2 options, right, to recount this really quick. They were like, you could either quit on your own, and then you can stop right now, or we have to fire you, and then the whole... You have 3 months time until the firing actually takes place, and you have to like work during that time, whatnot. Of course, they could have just said to me, okay, you know, we know your circumstances. You're fired, but you can also just not work anymore. They didn't do that, but I didn't work too much anyways during that time. But yeah, I was out, like, officially out at the 1st of February 2023. And then until somewhere in the middle of the dark period, as I have it here, I was unemployed. And then I got like a job in August of 23. Or did I? Yeah, it was like in August of 23, so... Yeah, okay. I was almost at like 1 year, including the medical leave, unemployed at the time. And of course, like getting back into the rhythm of being unemployed for so long and whatnot. And then I was like, you know, let's fucking do this again. I missed streaming, and then I went back as Return of the Golem. That was always a plan, right, to kind of like evolve the stone to somewhere. And now we are in the Runeborne era, which I'm looking forward to how this plays out. I'm trying to be a bit more serious. That's all I want to signify with this. You know, that's like the big thing about this. But yeah, other games I played way back then. You know, where Harry Potter, as I said, the Game Boy Color one, Transistor, The Last Guardian, Tori, Symphony of the Night, Loco Roco, Ratchet & Clank 2, Shrine 2, Spooky's Chomcare Mansion, Pray for the Gods, Lost Planet, Dementium 2, Dark Souls, of course, Proteus Scorn, Harry Potter 3 for the GBA, and Atomic Heart. Most of these games, I can tell you right now, are not really worth revisiting for streams, which is why I won't do them. Yeah, maybe just for the fuck of it, doing the Harry Potter games again, just showing them off. Or... yeah, no, I think that's it. Maybe Lost Guardian as well. Like in general, these games, but the rest are not that worth it. If I'm gonna be fully honest. A lot of games are nice for the first playthrough. But I'm personally not the kind of guy who plays a lot of games over and over and over again. Like, when a game gets me to do that, then it's a special game, let me tell you that much. Such as Dark Souls. And Stalker. I mean, I really want to play Stalker, and I mentioned that in the video. I want to do a challenge run for Stalker 1. But ever since, like, one of the first big updates, they messed up the the cutscene skipping, and you cannot skip cutscenes until you played through the game once or something like that on the same save, which is kind of ass if you ask me. So I might need to see if there's like a mod for that, or I've been waiting until they finally patch it back in. That's like one of the big things I want, because there's like 7 hours of cutscenes or something like that in that game. Or maybe that's a bit over the top, but I would say easily like an hour, 2 hours of cutscenes, if not more. And if you do challenge runs like this, where you just kind of run around and go through a lot of the game without caring for the story, you get to a lot of cutscenes very quickly, and it's kind of, it's nagging on you, right? Like when I do Dark Souls, I don't sit there and listen to every NPC over and over and over again. Like I've heard these dialogues hundreds of times, thousands of times, you know, when I watch other people play the game, which I still like love to do from time to time, you know. It's always fun to do. But yeah, then of course, you know, the top 10s is also a big thing that, as I said in the video, that I'm gonna do, continue to do. I think the next one is gonna be the start of the anime top 10s. Now, unlike with the video games, where you can say, oh yeah, let's go system by system, for like anime, I probably will have to go letter by letter. At least to some degree. Because I watched like 800 animes at this point, and, you know, including movies and OVAs and specials and shorts and whatnot. So if we go by actual episode count, it's maybe like 10 to 20,000 episodes. Or something like that. Still a lot, right? It's still a lot. But I remember, you know, when I did the manga one, that was like 150 at the time, 180, something like that. That took me like 4 hours. So I will either have to do a lot of preliminary sorting for that one, or I, as I said, will just go letter by letter. Like stream 1, it will be letter A to B, or A through D, and so on and so forth, until I get to Z. I think out of all the letters, I don't have a single anime that starts with X or with W that I've watched. Let me actually check it out, since I'm a bit of data hoarder, so I do have all of the anime I watched in my lifetime on my hard drive. There's a single one for W, and there's none for X, and there's quite a bunch for Y, actually. Oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah. There are quite a few good ones for NY, like you have the fucking, you know, you have shit like this. Lesbian stuff, basically. Yuri, as it's also called. You have like love, like rom-com stuff. Like a lot of love stuff is inside of the Y letter. And also some other cool things. Yeah. But this will take a while. So, but I think it's gonna be one of the next one I will attempt to at least get into. I just need to find time, right? A lot of stuff is kind of like, you think, oh, this will take like 2 hours, and then I actually sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm like 3 hours in, and I'm nowhere. I just don't have the time, right? I wish I had more time. I really do. Same with like Elden Ring. On one hand, I could just take vacation. I still have some vacation days left. But on the other hand, it's like always kind of... I always use vacation to kind of get stuff done that I usually don't have time for. You know, like playing through like very specific games that just take a bit too much time. So maybe I could say I will do Elden Ring there. But there's a bit of a complication with the rules. You know, fuck the rules usually, but when it comes to vacation, there's like this weird rule here in Switzerland where you need to take 10 vacation days in one go. Which is kind of dumb, if you ask me. It's like workers' protection. but in the dumbest way possible, because I don't want to be protected by that. If I want to take one vacation day every week, or every 2 weeks, then I should be allowed to do that. I shouldn't be forced to take 2 weeks in one go. It's just kind of cut, like when you have 4 weeks of vacation in a year, or 5. I have 5. Some places you have 4. That's a common thing in Switzerland, either 4 or 5. If you have 4 vacation weeks, and you have to take 2 at once, like where the fuck are you going to take the other ones? It's so stupid. Especially when you think they're like, there's summer vacation if you have children. So that's probably where you will take them. But you also have like the whole winter vacation stuff where you have like Christmas and whatnot, where it's always so stressful. It's like, okay, I have to take my vacation there and there. But both of them are not really going to be relaxing because it's just all of the stressful stuff. So can I not just spread them out a bit more so I can relax more and be a better worker? But no. Them's the rules. But yeah. There's like a window that I've marked so far in October. So 2 months. I might do like a... like almost like a split thing where... 1st of October I will start with Elden Ring. Then I will take like 2 days off. And then I will do one more regular work week. So I will like do shorter streams during that time, and then I will take 2 more days off. And hopefully finish it. I mean, I think I don't think the game will take me more than 50 to 80 hours at most, so like spread across around 2 weeks with half of that being 3 days. That should work, I think. And that's the challenge run for Stalker. I don't think that will like take more than 20 hours, but I still need to find like a good time to do that. But I want to put make a video out of that, so it has like a bit of a double meaning. So those I always feel a little bit better about, just placing them smack dab in the middle somewhere. But yeah, that's roughly, what I want to talk about. Just, chatting a little bit about stuff like this once in a while is nice. Of course, when we talk games, there are... oh, it's unending. Like, these days, I barely buy games just because I have so many. I every so often go onto Humble Bundle and see if they have, like, a new bundle where I'm like, oh, actually buying this could be cool. Right now, they don't. Or do they? They have, like, a tabletop game bundle right now. Doesn't look too interesting. But yeah, sometimes I will just go there and be like, okay, is there something cool? Like, there were like 2 or 3 boomer shooter bundles which I bought because I like boomer shooters, as I also said in the video. Quake. It's gonna continue. I might, as I said, I will probably take a break from it after I finish the main campaign, and then I will kind of like piecemeal drop in the expansion packs throughout the rest of the year. It's always like go like a pendulum. So Quake, not a game, then back to a Quake extension pack, not a game, back and forth until I finish Quake 2. Quake 3 of course has no campaign. Well, it has, but it's like multiplayer online bot games. Kinda. So that's not really what could be considered a campaign. But I would absolutely be up for it, for just getting like 8+ people together and hosting a server somewhere. Like triangulate everybody's position, like, okay, you are in the US and you are in the UK and I'm in Switzerland and this person is maybe like in Italy. Where can we put a server that everybody is close to? Relatively close to. So that everybody doesn't have like a horrible 5 million ping or whatnot. But that's also something I would be up to. Always. Right? I'm a bit of a reserved person in real life. And I always have like a pulse of like 600 beats per minute when I have to talk to somebody new. So I will be completely nervous and an emotional wreck, as they say. But I usually, you know, settle down quickly enough. So I think it could be fun. I also showed this picture here, which is of my cats. The boy, which is the one on the left here, he looks a little bit like he's crying. Don't know why. They've been a bit, how should I say? Like the girl is actually sitting here right now. They've been a bit annoying in the recent few days. The girl has now twice take a dump right beside the toilet, even though they're clean. I think she just doesn't like one of the toilets and the other one is a bit more used. Because both like prefer one over the other. For whatever reason. Like I've put like one toilet up in the hallway. Because I just was like, okay. Just one is not enough. And I really like using that one over the other one. To the point where it's like, okay. Can you maybe spread out your poop a little bit more? And they don't, so the girl started to poop on the floor sometimes. So I kind of need to fix that somehow. Both of them at this point are actually sitting on my work laptop. Which I don't like when they do that. Because they weigh like close to 10 kilograms. And I don't want to go to work the next day with a broken screen. Because I was like pressed down and whatnot. And then I have to explain, well, yeah, my cat sat on the laptop. I need a new laptop. Yeah, that would be embarrassing in a way. But it's funny, they always like look for something. They don't like when there's a table or when on the floor there's like a piece of paper or whatever laying there. Like it's not softer or whatnot. It just needs to be kind of an actual like dedicated area. A piece of paper is on the floor, they sit on the piece of paper. It's the same hardness, there's like no difference to it, they just want to sit on something that's different. Same here with the laptop. They have the entire table, of course in this picture it's actually quite dirty, because I was sorting out some stuff. But they have the entire table to sit down, they have to sit on the laptop. Or on the, you know, paper roll that's like laid down on the table right now because they knocked it over and whatnot. It's kind of funny. But yeah, they are two funny little cats. The girl and the crying boy. I think he just rubbed his eye because it's dirty sometimes. That's why he looks like he's crying. Yeah. Anyways, I would say that is it for today. I've been really tired today. It's just you know, that was just meant to be a short post-debut video stream. I've been really pooped. I don't know why even. I was just tired since like Thursday. Which I don't like when that happens. If you ask me. I really hate it actually. I don't know why I'm sometimes just tired. But yeah, today was... I'm glad I got the video out. And another thing is my store. Like there are like two stores here, right? One down the street and one up the street. The one up the street got rid of like half the energy drinks. Which all of them were the ones that I liked. And then the store down the street, which is like a different chain, they had them, but now they got rid of them as well. For the past few days, I was like, oh fuck. Now, you know, I have the choice between the not so disgusting ones and the disgusting ones, and the ones that are just really expensive. Right, when I'm in the mood for an energy drink, now I have to have only these choices. Fuck that. And today when I was in the store, they both got the... when I was in the store up the street, they got two of the energy drinks I kinda like back. One of them is the Monster Energy drink, sugar-free, and the other one is the Monster Energy the boomer, or the white one, ultra energy or what it's called, which is also sugar-free. So I'm pretty in a good mood because of that. No, I always like when they keep stuff that I like in the store. As an example, one thing is cherry coke. I love cherry coke. I don't drink it too often because of all the sugar and calories and whatnot. Because it's not healthy for you. But once in a while I want one. And then all the stores took it out of the assortment. And then one store started having them, then the other one started having them, then one store took it out again. It's like, oh, it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. But currently they have Coke, cherry, but they got rid of the Pepsi one, which was the sugar-free version, which I sometimes prefer to have because it was the sugar-free one. Which is now why it's always such... I wish I wouldn't have to deal with that. That's just how it is, right? But yeah, anyways. Thanks for joining me today. I'm not entirely sure if I will stream tomorrow. If I do, I will stream Dark Souls, since I didn't do it today. So we'll start pretty early. But the best way to figure out if I do is either to, you know, follow or check on Twitter. And with that, I want to say thanks for watching. If you're lurking because you saw the video or the tweet I sent out, thanks for doing that. That's highly appreciated. And hopefully I will see you in the next stream. Goodbye.